So today I wanted to talk about something a little bit different that I've noticed on YouTube, since I'm sure we've all now heard about the unfortunate passing, or I shouldn't really say passing, the murder of Gabby Petito, and everyone now is on the hunt for Brian Laundrie. And out of the woodwork, seemingly a lot of channels have now changed their content direction to purely focus on everything speculative theories surrounding Brian Laundrie and his whereabouts. And a lot of these channels are reporting updates and, like I said, reporting speculative theories. But this guy Joseph Morris, he's taken it to another level of just complete disrespect for the family and disregard for how they're probably feeling, going through almost definitely the worst moment of their entire lives. And his response to getting called out on his shit, he laughed.
Even though you know it's fucking fake, it's like you still watch it and you're like, this is so fucking wrong. Like, and you have and the problem.
And we'll get more into that later. But first, let's look at some of the other problematic things he's done. And just quickly, before I do, massive trigger warning, because some of the images are fairly graphic, and I can only imagine how disrespected you would feel if you've lost a loved one to something similar like this Gabby Petito case. So in this horrific thumbnail that he used, he's posting a video speculating whether Gabby was pregnant, and has actually gone in and edited not Gabby Petito, a random person who wasn't her, and photoshopped it to make it look like a corpse, and then, gone through the time of editing the thumbnail, putting it on, waiting for it to upload, and still throughout this whole process thinking that it was acceptable to do this. And I can't get around how disrespectful this is. And he's doing it all for views. This grotesque way of just getting the clicks on people's morbid curiosity is just unfathomable to me. And his idea, or his theory that she's pregnant, do you want to know where that came from? This picture. He thinks that this bottom picture are sonograms that Gabby'd left behind.
Because she was pregnant. So looking at this video posted by Jen and Kyle Bethune, taken near Gabby Petito's van, I can't help but notice what looks like to be a sonogram.
But you want to know what these actually are? Someone with experience in the camping field exposed him as a liar, and the title of this video was Debunking the Brian Gabby Ultrasound Theory, Proof Inside Edition Deliberately Manipulated You. And what they actually are just markings for where campers can park their vehicles. But did he apologise? Did he take this down? Did he take the theory back? No. And he is actually responsible for a theory that was going around, spreading like wildfire throughout Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everything, that Brian had accidentally gone live whilst on a boat.
There are allegations that Brian appeared on Instagram Live accidentally for 2 to 3 seconds, and viewers saw water as if he were on a boat. Many other users witnessed this event. And that's the real reason why the FBI called off the investigation in the Florida Wildlife Refuge.
Which led to people pointing out that there was 1 second of a crock in it from someone else's foot, that then people began claiming that it belonged to Rose, who was one of Gabby's best friends, claiming that she was now having an affair with Brian. And can you imagine how disrespectful that is to someone who's just lost their best friend to potentially murder? People also used this short video showing that because there was a milk jug in it, and Brian Laundrie's dad had just been delivered milk, that they were still in cahoots with each other. And he'd actually just got this video from some random TikTok user named Teddy Mosner, and it was just some fishing video back from 2020. Here's the full video. So as you can see, it's just some guy who I think has caught a catfish or whatever, and he's pulling it up out the boat, and he'd obviously cut it within that few seconds before the catfish actually came out the water, and was making out that it was Brian Laundrie on a boat. This is where he cut it. He's also just milking this story for every cent he can get, and presents evidence that is just completely unfounded.
Coverage taken from a drone appears to show Brian Laundrie leaning up against a tree. The sighting was spotted by Eagle Eye viewer Caitlin Powell, and I was tipped off by this sighting by Heather Spurlock. So please, if you see anything, let me know. In a close-up version, it appears as though he is wearing that white backpack, sitting facing left, back up against a tree. Powell in the footage believes that she swears seeing the person look right at the camera, then leans back. This image really did it for me personally.
Are you kidding me? This is it. This is the evidence. Brian Laundrie found is the title. This is it. Like, what? Just the disregard for the family, how they must be feeling is just unreal. And if you again don't believe me that he's milking it, well, do you want to know what the headline news was the other day for an hour and a half nearly long stream? That Brian Laundrie's dad was mowing his lawn. I wish I was joking.
Have a little update that Christopher Laundrie decided to mow his lawn.
Like, how is this relevant to finding Brian Laundrie, like, or anything to do with the case? And he just shows screenshots after screenshot of Brian's dad just walking around mowing his lawn whilst all of these people at the front of his house are filming him. And this just shows when there's no news, he's willing to make news out of nothing. And sadly, some people are so invested in this case that they don't see that he's just using them for money, clicks and views. And he was talking about this all the way up until the 1 hour point, and this live stream was actually an hour and a half. And the amount of videos he's done on the Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito case is just staggering. So as you can see, it just goes on and on. He's using the same picture of Gabby and Brian in the same thumbnail, so it's just lazy content as well. And then here is when you go back to the content pre-Gabby and Brian. And as you can see, some of his views, 1.4, 5.4, 3.5, 1.4. So as you can see, he's had nearly like a 2,000% increase in his views. He was getting between 1 and 10k views per video, but usually more, around between 1 and 5. And now he's getting between 150 to 260, sometimes 300,000 plus. Back at the end of August, he actually had 3k subs, and he's actually been making videos for 9 years now. His channel is 9 years old, and now he's got 148,000 subscribers at the time of making this video. So to go from 3k at the end of August to mid-October to nearly 150,000, you can see why he's keeping on doing the videos. And it literally feels like every other video he makes is a new Brian Laundrie sighting, when actually the video evidence that he's presented in this video, he's already deciphered and debunked the fact that it isn't Brian Laundrie. And he did this as recent as 18 hours ago. And in this video, he talks about how someone else who was actually hiding out in a bunker that's out in the reserve that they're searching for Brian at was actually a fugitive and was arrested. And as you can see, although he titles the video Brian Laundrie sighting, he knows by the time he's put all the evidence together for this video that it isn't. It's this guy Ethan Waters and not Brian Laundrie, yet he still chooses to present it as another Brian Laundrie sighting for those clicks and views. And up until recently, it was pretty clear what his motives were, because his banner was actually get me to 100k subs, but it's now changed conveniently now that he's been called out, but we'll get into that in a second. He also posted on Twitter saying Gabby Petito case, ashes found at crime scene memorial where body discovered, burned, ? So he's like implying that her body was now burned and there's no other facts other than some ashes in an area where lots of people go camping. He also made a weird TikTok trying to say, we need to find out who made this cross, making it to be something suspicious, but it was Gabby Petito's stepdad. And to stop people from calling him out of how much views he's now getting compared to before, he's actually deleted his social blade where you usually check for YouTubers' growth in subs and views. And not only all of that, but he actually did a live stream of Gabby's funeral, which conveniently has now been deleted because people were just outraged. And do you want to know what his response was when he got called out? He laughed. Here.
In everything that you fucking report on.
I love it. I fucking love it.
Well, of course you love it, but I'm just saying it's like, you know, even though you know it's fucking fake, it's like, you still watch it and you're like, this is so fucking wrong. Like, and you have, and the problem is that you have such a following that, like, you know what you're doing.
Because they love it.
Wait, but my personal responsibility. Meow came in here the other day and he was like, yo, I trolled the whole internet by telling a straight up like bullshit story and got like
he's not. He's saying that.
So wait, my question, Robbie, for you is like, isn't personal responsibility the most important part? I should be the one to figure out if it's a problem that he's reporting like.
So, as you can see, he doesn't give two shits that he's hurting people in the process of making money. As long as he's getting the bag, he's fine. And Gabby Petito's family has actually come forward and asked that Brian Laundrie's lawyer not use Gabby's photo on his Yelp page to profiteer off her death. So they've been pretty vocal about the fact that they don't like the fact that people are making money out of Gabby's passing. Does he care? Of course not. And after this case, I think we can all acknowledge that the internet's help can actually not only help, but propel forward the time frame in which bodies and crimes are solved. I mean, you know, those other van life YouTubers were the ones that managed to locate Gabby's body within a certain vicinity, which made the FBI's area search go from 25,000 acres to just 1 acre. So I think there's no doubt in the fact that the internet and like having a lot of people on board can help crimes. But this kind of speculative theorizing of just outlandish theories and like clearly debunkable evidence not only wastes police time, but it can also create scenarios in which people feel motivated to go and hunt for Brian Laundrie themselves, in which the evidence might not then be permissible in court, meaning that he won't be successfully prosecuted. So it can actually not just damage the prosecution's case, it can actually eliminate the possibility of actually seeing Brian successfully locked behind bars. And I don't know whether he realises he's doing it, but he motivates people to go out and, you know, do the hunting themselves.
It looks like it's mostly up to the public to find Brian Laundrie, so keep an eye out for these tattoos. Keep an eye out.
And after some people cottoned on to what he was doing and calling him out, he posted this on his community tab. Hi everyone, I would like to release a statement about my videos as of recently. People are treating them as if they are factual information, but they are user-submitted tips that I discuss. Which is not true, because in your TikTok with that milk boat thing, it was you who presented that as fact and you who actually found that first. The purpose of my videos are to increase public knowledge on the case, as well as the possible whereabouts of Brian Laundrie, and has radically changed from simply reporting on the news to actually having some closure on this case, which I call bullshit. I feel a personal connection with this case now. Everything has happened so fast and I'm working on being better at reporting as my channel grows. I now repeatedly put out disclaimers in my videos and will begin citing my sources more accurately. Thank you so much on my journey. Well, you've been a YouTube channel for 9 years now. You should know how to do stuff like that by now, I should think. And there was a lot of people just praising him, saying, oh, it's okay, don't worry, blah, 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 in the comments of this. And only a few people calling him out, such as this guy saying, you know exactly what you're doing. And people commenting, yeah, you've seen the video of him laughing. And at the start of his videos now, he does say something along the lines of, this is a place to just discuss and theorize.
I don't know. This is a speculation channel. I think we should all just do our best to keep our eyes out.
Which, okay, that's good. But then in his title, he still states things like Brian Laundrie sighting, whilst in the same video presenting evidence of the contrary. And, okay, clickbait, whatever. I suppose this your moral judgment on how far you go with clickbait. So, but just all the stuff he's done in the past and the fact that he's just milking everything he can get out of this story. Like I said, his second last stream was about Brian Laundrie's dad mowing his lawn. How is that just not milking this for views? And in his very last one, do you want to know what was also the content? The fact that Brian Laundrie's parents had sold a house back in July, and he was showing some of the screenshots that they'd used to take pictures of the house and used to sell the house, saying that he thought the person in the picture, taking the picture, was Brian Laundrie. And even if it was, what does that have to do with anything? This was all before everything happened. I think, yeah, that was even before Gabby and Brian had actually been stopped by the police for their physical altercation. So this was just completely irrelevant.
But in the photos, you can potentially see Brian Laundrie. In the photos, uses the soul to sell the condo. So I don't know if this is Brian Laundrie or not, but people basically think it is. There's another photo here. Right here. So again, like the decor, people are pointing out the decor is very bizarre. I would have to agree.
What does the decor have anything to do with the Brian Laundrie case and the fact that he's on the run? How is this a theory or an update? Like, it's just so irrelevant. Like, and this was yesterday. So it's pretty clear this guy doesn't give two shits about not only Gabby but her family and what they're going through. I mean, you know, the fact that he was theorizing and made a video about the fact that Gabby's best friend could possibly be having an affair with Brian and quickly deleted that video is just mind-blowing, and his lack of compassion and just humanity is just astonishing, really, especially in a case that's just so heartbreaking. So let me know what you think about him, whether you think I'm reaching, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't think there's any way anyone can come to that conclusion, but maybe you like his videos and you like the fact that he keeps you updated even with all the speculative theories. But either way, I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions, so leave a comment down below. And I'm also trying to hit 2K by the end of the year, so I'd really appreciate if you liked and subbed. So see you in the next one. Bye.
Say what you want.